Hey healthy gamers, this is Jack here, have another gaming video for you. Yay! This one is going to be why Diablo 3 has no longevity at the moment and then how to fix it. Before I show you that, let me show you how you can win 10 million gold. Actually, it's 11 million now. One of the viewers was so generous and added a million gold of his own. So first place will win 10 million, second place will win 1 million. All you got to do is go over to my website at thehealthygamer.com, click follow on the Twitter link down here, and just follow me on Twitter, and then you'll be entered to win. The drawing is going to be tomorrow night, July 20th at midnight. So here are the problems that I see with Diablo 3 right now. Difficulty scaling is terrible. The game is either frustratingly difficult or it's absurdly easy, and with the repair costs the way they are, they force players to farm Act 1 and 2 because doing later Acts 3 and 4 is prohibitively expensive. And so now you have a bunch of players running around just farming Act 1 and 2. There's no challenge, and it kind of leads into my next point. The loot sucks. If it was really good loot, it might be okay. It might be fun to farm Act 1 and 2, but the loot is terrible. Even if you find an upgrade, it's still not exciting. Like, okay, cool, I found a ring. I got 5% more crit, or 0.5% more crit, and I got 14 more dexterity. Yeah, like, how's that exciting? Even if you get a big upgrade, get like 10k more DPS, what you're doing, you're just killing mobs a little bit faster. It's not really fun. What happened to unique weapons with unique affixes, like a weapon that spawns a wall of hydras randomly, or some sort of shield that does, I don't know, something really cool, something unique, and not just more vitality, more dexterity, more resist. That's boring. That's not what Diablo 2 was about, so I don't see why they didn't do that in Diablo 3. And then the third point, players are not rewarded for playing. Right now, it makes more sense for you to go work a minimum wage job at McDonald's than it does to play Diablo 3. You go work a job for 5 hours there, you come home, you buy a whole bunch of gold, now you can go buy an upgrade. You play Diablo 3 for 5 hours, most likely you're not going to find anything that's worthwhile. So solutions, one of those are challenge dungeons. These can be dungeons that you can only open with tokens that you find on bosses with 5 stacks of Nephilim Valor. So say you kill the Butcher, you get 1 token, you kill Belial, you get 2, kill Diablo, you get 4. And then when you saved up, I don't know, 15 or 20 of these tokens, you can open up a challenge dungeon, and the challenge dungeon will have 2 mini bosses and then 1 main boss, and it should not be any randomized bullshit where you get some just retarded elite packs. These need to be well-tuned, fine-tuned, so they present a good challenge to the player but aren't frustrating. And then what these should do is the challenge in boss should drop an item that's unique to that boss. So for example, say challenge dungeon alpha, you go in there, you kill the boss, he has a 15% chance of dropping an item called the Blood Drinker. And that Blood Drinker, say, is a unique weapon. Of course, you'd have randomized stats still, so you want to find the perfect Blood Drinker, but you could have, say, you do 500,000 damage, and then it spawns some awesome little blood-drinking vampire ally to help you out for 5 seconds, and just a fun little unique weapon like that. And, you know, one of the things that it solves is it makes your playing time worthwhile. Even if you kill the Butcher 10 times, you don't find anything good, you can still get these challenge dungeon tokens and go in and have a chance at some really awesome item. Also, these challenge dungeon tokens could become a new in-game currency because, as we all know, the gold economy is just broken. It's absurd how expensive things are. And then also, it would be much easier for the developers to churn out content, you know, just keep building little dungeons for people to do. And then also it'd be easy for them to tune that content. Instead of trying to tune the whole game, they can just tune the bosses in these challenge dungeons to keep a challenging experience there for gamers. Another idea is to do endless dungeons. These could be very easy to implement. Level 1, you could start off with just flat Act 1 mobs, and then from there, each level the mobs get 1.5% life, 1.5% more damage, and their loot tables have 1.5% more item budget. And there you go, you've created a challenging in-game that will challenge whoever. Another solution is to have hardcore dungeons. This could be a really exciting implement into the game, and basically the idea is you're in a dungeon and maybe it has better loot than normal dungeons, but the kicker is if you die, you lose everything that you found on that run, and you could have little stashes interspersed through this dungeon, and you could have where you can only put one item in that stash before that stash becomes inactive. And so it would give players, you could save the really cool stuff you found, but otherwise if you want to keep everything, you got to play it really carefully and go through and make sure you don't die and be really exciting. And again, you could have bosses in there dropping unique legendary stuff. That's a lot of fun. And then you have to be able to finish the legendary dungeon, you have to do something like reach the end, kill the end boss, and it can be really exciting where you just spent 45 minutes in this dungeon, and if you don't kill this boss, you're going to lose everything you found. And so that can make for some really exciting, fun, challenging gameplay. Just a few more solutions that I thought of while I was writing this thing out. We should have unique affix gems instead of having boring gems that give you just more of whatever stat you want. Let's have a gem that's called like Heart of the Demon Lord, and it has a 1% chance to spawn a Demon Lord to fight by your side for 6 seconds every time you strike an enemy. You could also do item reforging. This could be a good gold sink, because I'm sure we've all found items that have really great DPS, maybe one good stat, but the other stacks are just terrible, and so it's still pretty useless. So what you could do is go to an item reforger, put it in there, lock in the stat you want to keep, and then re-roll the other stats, and you could pay, I don't know, like 100 grand or more to do that. So it'd be kind of like gambling, where you could still possibly end up with a really shitty item, but you could possibly end up with a usable item now. And so those items that you find might be more interesting if you have the option to reforge them. And then we should also have consumable buffs. This would be another good gold sink. I'm just thinking of gold sinks because the gold economy right now is outrageous. 200 million gold to buy an upgrade, that's insane. So what about consumable buffs, where you pay 50k for a potion that increases your magic find by 50% for 30 minutes or until you die? Pay 100,000 gold for some flasks that increase your resistances by 100 for 30 minutes or until you die. Just little ideas like that. I think if they were implemented, they would just make the game much more interesting. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Hit subscribe and like over here, and please share on your social media and on your favorite forums. And then this weekend I'll be playing the Guild Wars 2 beta, taking footage of as much of that as I can, try to do like 20 plus hours a day, get no sleep, run on caffeine and adrenaline, but I get as much footage of that as I can for you, and just showcase as many classes as I can, so when it releases you can have a good idea of what you want to play, what skills are available, and how they play. Really excited about that, so stay tuned for that, and hope everyone has a wonderful day.